Why do I always get it in my eye? Welcome, guys, to another episode of the Slightly Out Topic podcast, where it is I, Demonic, with the homie Mario. A little disclaimer for this episode right here, and every episode going on forward. We might say offensive stuff that some people might get offended to, because we live in a society where people are, kind of weak, So if that offended you, please hop off the podcast. All right. If you want to learn something different from two opinionated people that have their own opinions, go ahead, stay, comment down below. If you disagree with this, comment down below and let us know why you disagree with us.
Yeah, we're all for it.
We're all for it. We're open to debate. Let us know why we're wrong. We're not gonna talk shit on you that much. We might even feature your comment on another episode. And if we deserve it and if we are wrong, we will correct ourselves on the next episode. But that's a little warning right there that we sometimes might say offensive stuff. Once again, they are our opinions and our opinions only. I, Demonic, have my own opinions. Mario has his own opinions.
Oh, yeah.
Two different.
He still thinks the earth is flat.
Because it is flat. All right. I know. I almost fell off the edge of it.
Because otherwise levels wouldn't work.
The curvature of the earth, the curve of the bullet. Don't get me started. Anyways, guys, so if you guys are still here after this little intro right here, then welcome. This first story, man, all the stuff that I want to say about this woman, but I will let Mario read the story.
Here we go. From dailymail.com. My boyfriend's cancer battle was ruining my mental health, so I left him. Now I'm running a marathon in his honor. 32-year-old Danielle Epstein. So here we go. A woman running the London Marathon for her ex-boyfriend has admitted she left him because she couldn't cope with his cancer battle. Danielle Epstein, 32, was buying a house with Gel Fresen in London last year when he was diagnosed with a rare form of brain tumor at just 37. He needed a complex operation, radiotherapy, chemotherapy, and had to learn to walk again. While all this was going on, physics teacher Danielle began having panic attacks and her mental health plummeted. So she ended their relationship. She moved to Thailand but remained friends with Gel and is now running a marathon for a brain tumor charity. She said she was still figuring out her friendship with Gel, adding, "I felt like the most awful person, leaving somebody because they have cancer, but it was damaging my mental health and it wasn't helping Gel." Tell me about her. What do you think?
She's one of the most loving, caring, charismatic,
how awesome is she?
Humans in this world.
You think so?
No, dude. Dude. Okay, so your boyfriend that you're buying a house with got a rare form of a brain tumor.
Doesn't say how long they were together, does it?
It doesn't. But it had to be long enough if they're buying a house together.
Oh, yeah. That's
right?
True.
So it should at least be, I want to say maybe, I will date it somewhere between 2 to 5 years. Somewhere around there. So this is kind of long to read on the podcast, but we will be linking the story down on the description. So if you want to check it out, go ahead and check it out. But so I think it has to be somewhere between 2 to 5 years. If they loved each other enough to buy a house together, that means they're basically, going a step further than just, dating.
Yeah.
Right? There's something more serious. He got a rare brain tumor and homegirl's like, I'm out. I'm out because your brain tumor is damaging my brain.
My mental, and I'm not being of help to you is what she says, basically.
But that's the thing about it, though. Like, she is being a help.
She's raising funds.
Not this way. This is some BS story to try to make yourself feel good for the decision that you made. This is so dumb, because whatever happened to commitment, whatever happened to not thinking about yourself and not being selfish and helping out who you're with.
I'm sorry. There's no ring on that finger.
But they are in a committed relationship.
They are in a relationship in which they committed no amount of time to each other. At no point did they commit. I see no ring on this finger. It doesn't say they were married. They were boyfriend and girlfriend. Okay, they don't share the same last name. They probably don't share the same bank account or anything like that. Yeah, they were buying a house together.
So they were going to share a house together.
They were going to share a house together, but lots of people live together who are unmarried.
That's true.
So she did not say till death do us part, sickness and in health, so on and so forth. So
right. Okay,
she's under no obligation to stay with this guy because he has cancer. And she's 32 years old. I mean, not exactly a spring chicken, but at the same time, plenty of life left to live.
Right. I see where you're going with this, and I agree with you slightly because, yeah, she may not have no obligation to stay with him, but you chose him. You chose him while he was at his best. I'm going to say best because I don't know.
Well, that's when people get chosen.
Right, exactly. So now instead of building something together, life got hard for her. So she's like, I'm out.
Right.
Do you not see the flaw in that? Like,
I didn't. Well, that's my main argument here is that she at no point made a promise to be with him forever.
it's not really a promise. It's more of a like, it's what you do.
So
It's that what do they call it? That what do they call it? The unspoken bound or some shit like that. Like, you know what I'm trying to say, right?
I think so, but okay, unspoken things, common courtesy, something like that. If you make that argument, I would say, all right, but at what cost? She's not going to be 32 forever,
right?
And this person, she doesn't know if they're even going to live, right? And this is, like she said, affecting her mental health greatly. This is going to leave with she's going to leave this with some sort of trauma moving forward. Let's say he does die and they're still together. It's like, she didn't sign up for that.
I agree with you, but at the same time, I don't, because supposedly they loved each other enough to buy a house together.
Love, or did it make sense? They're both in their 30s, like 32, 37.
Right.
Right? So it's like...
they chose each other for a reason. They're together for a reason.
Could have been a financial decision.
Don't read between the lines. They were a couple that bought a house together. That means that they loved each other. That means that there was some form of connection. There was some form of bond between them already.
Or it could mean that they were both tired of paying rent and not having, something to fall back on.
You just really want to fight me in this one, huh? So if you and your wife were boyfriend girlfriend,
okay,
right?
And your girlfriend, yeah.
Guys, that's how I said it, because now there's a different tie right there.
Wife,
there's a different tie right there.
If we were still boyfriend and girlfriend,
if you guys are still boyfriend and girlfriend, and you've been with her for a while, and you guys are about to buy a house already, at your lowest point where you need the most help, when you need like somebody there emotionally, somebody there physically, somebody just there to support you and like help you through the lowest point of your life, and she's like, nah, I'm out. Like, you find that okay?
I would not find that necessarily okay, because I'm the one that's sick. But at the end of the day, I didn't put a ring on that finger.
Right.
She has no obligations to me. She had no point promised to be with me through sickness and in health.
That's true. But
she had no point agreed to be my caretaker. That job belongs at that point to my parent, my mother.
I mean, yes, I agree with you, but at the same time, like, I'm disagreeing with you because you guys got together for a reason. I don't feel just because times get hard and you don't want to deal with it, that's just a quick cop out. And then the fact that you're running for his honor, at a charity, when instead of helping him through it, you're like, nah, I'm out. I'll just rather go run for your name.
Right.
If that was me, if I found out that my girlfriend did that, I would be like, that is so disrespectful as shit.
Well, you can think about it this way. At the end of the day, he might have just dodged a major bullet.
Don't devil's advocate your devil's advocate.
Fine. Well, here we go. He did not put a ring on it fast enough, all right? And let's say she never wanted to get married to him. Let's say she was one of those women that doesn't want to get married.
Right.
We don't know. It doesn't say that here.
Right.
But she's not into it. Clearly, she's not into taking care of other people, right? So, she's maybe not exactly wife material. At the end of the day, like I said, she has no obligations to him. This is just another human, random person to her.
It sucks because you're putting up a good argument. But at the same time, like, it's just, I'm not a big kind of person that when times get tough, you bail. Especially... I don't know. I guess I'm
not arguing for whether or not she's a decent person.
I guess I just have that. I have that
made the right choice.
I have that mental thing in my brain where I got with you, right? Because if I'm getting with you, it's because I want to be with you,
right?
Right. I'm not gonna waste my time. Whatever. Yes, we're seeing where this is going, right? But if out of nowhere something like this happens, like, I just feel like if I chose you for a reason, I'm going to stick with you basically almost through anything, because I made that boyfriend girlfriend commitment. You know, it's still technically some sort of like bond, some sort of commitment, but it's just like, I don't know, man. I guess the pictures of him are like hitting me more hard, you know, because like look at that, like look at him, dude. Like
he looks pretty rough.
I just like,
he probably should have married someone.
But now you're faulting him though, because he didn't put it in fast enough.
Well, yeah. In his time of need, he has no one to fall back on.
I mean, yeah, you're kind of right. I guess he did dodge a bullet, but
because clearly this was the wrong person,
right?
For him. So, well, who knows? I don't know him personally either. I'm just saying, given the situation, I'm sure he would have liked to have someone there that he could lean on and rely on. And clearly, this lady was not that person.
Right. I don't know. To me, I'm just arguing the fact that when times get tough, everybody bails.
Not everybody.
Almost everybody bails. When times get tough, almost everybody bails.
I would say your boyfriend or girlfriend would bail, but your husband or wife,
they bail.
Well, see, now
look at the divorce rate. You're gonna tell me they don't bail?
Well, I'm saying they shouldn't bail. Those are the people that I would hold accountable.
But they still bail. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. When times get tough, people nobody wants to take responsibility and accountability anymore on anything. And I'm not talking about this specific story that much anymore. Now I'm just talking about in general, broad terms, right? Like when times get tough, people don't want to deal with it, and they just would rather be like, not my problem anymore. See ya. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I just don't see the major problem with that.
I guess I'm trying to fight you through integrity kind of morale, and you're fighting me through a logical kind of morale. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, you're fighting me with like
100%. That's what I'm doing.
I know that's what you're doing, and it's pissing me off, and I don't want to have a podcast with you anymore. Like, it's just like my stance would be more morally based, you know, and like have like basically like the cojones to like, you know, face your obstacles. You know,
why not ovaries?
Because I said cojones. What's the Mexican word for ovaries for cojones?
I don't know what the lady huevos.
Lady huevos? Yeah, exactly. See, I put you on blast now, asshole. But, yeah, so that's my whole argument with this, is that just people would rather not push through, become a better person morally, mentally, whatever, like grow as a person, because they'd rather take the easy way out.
I would argue that they are growing as people, because they're not going to weigh themselves down with the problems of other people. How many people get held back because of someone else's problems? I mean, some people care too much, even when they have no need to care as much as they do, but they stick back because of some sort of self-righteous moral high ground. Right. They think they're doing the right thing, and at the end of the day, it's costing them valuable time. You don't get time back.
So that, I don't know, just I can't stand stories like this, because it's just
I'll give you this. She's a piece of shit. But
thank you for saying it.
But she's a happy piece of shit.
But
she's
is she
a piece
though?
Of shit who's not going to waste any more of her time on somebody who's not going to fulfill some stuff that she might want out of her life.
But that's why you help him through it and grow together as a couple. But
then she wouldn't be a piece of shit.
Yeah, and she would do what?
She'd be a miserable good person.
A miserable good person?
A morally good, miserable person.
I hate to agree with you, because I'm not gonna know, because like I said, you're fighting me with logical stuff of like, it's true, she's not committed. I am fighting you with the moral way of, in a way, she kind of technically is committed, because they chose to be with each other, and they chose that for a reason. So if you chose this to be maybe your life partner, and times get hard and they bail, I get it that wasn't the right person for you. And yes, he dodged a bullet, but my whole argument is that when times get tough, people just would rather not face their obstacles and push through it. And this is how you become weak in a society. This is how you become weak spiritually, mentally, not spiritually as in, you know, a form of God or whatever you believe in, but like just whatever higher power you believe in or shit like that. zodiac signs and all that right there. You're a spirit. You're
a Libra.
Yeah, exactly. You betrayed your asparagus god, and my computer is frozen. People don't want to face their reality, so they'll rather, like you said, push it on to somebody else. That's my whole argument of like why I feel like society is like not really crumbling, but more
it's fractured.
Yes, because you no longer have that responsibility. I get it that she never had a responsibility to him to begin with because there was no ring on the finger,
right?
But it's still, in a way, it's still your responsibility. Like, you chose to be with this person, like you guys saw something in each other. Like, it's not no longer a, like, one night stand, or it's not a quick hump and dump. It's, you guys saw something with each other. And I'm only saying this because, like, I don't know their marital status or whatever. I don't know their reasons for why buying a house. It could have been because rent is too expensive. But then again, they're in the UK. Everything's expensive there. Okay. So like I'm saying, I'm not.
All right.
Try to reload this real quick.
Hypothetically, okay, you have a one night stand with a girl. You don't know her name. You guys were both drinking.
I want to call her Diamond.
It was Diamond was stripping for you, right? And
I feel like she liked me.
You convinced all strippers like you.
Right.
That's what they're paid for. She decided to go home with you this time. She's like, all right, let's go. And pump and dump. You guys do it. All right. She has no interest in seeing you again. You have no interest in seeing her again. This was just a flash in the pan. On her way down the stairs from your apartment, she falls.
Right.
She's unconscious. Do you take her to the hospital? Do you call 911?
Or
do you leave her there?
Yeah. This isn't GTA 5, right? I'm gonna.
You have no obligation to her.
But I'm still a good person.
Pump and dump.
I'm still a good person. Diamond fell down. All right. I don't need her homegirl Cinnamon, Violet, and all those right there coming up like next, like protesting my house. All right. But no, I would help her.
The question is, do you have an obligation to?
As a human, yes. As a good person, yes.
No. As a human. Explain as a human.
Because in a time of need, you see somebody that is in a state of help, you help them out.
Oh, in a state of helplessness. Every time you see a homeless person, do you give them $1? They need your help.
Sometimes.
I said every time. Are you sometimes a good human or sometimes a bad human?
I'm sometimes a good human.
And the other times?
Sometimes a bad human.
And you're kind of selfish in those moments?
Yes.
Like this lady here?
Yes. But
she decided to be selfish for a moment?
But different. This is completely different.
Yeah, one is easy. One is ignoring a homeless person, and one is making the decision not to literally waste any more of your time on this person who can serve you no more good purposes now.
But one of them is because I don't have $1.
Let's say
the other one is because you have the cancer-ridden boyfriend.
Well, yeah, because let's say, for hypothetically speaking, she wants kids.
Right.
She wants a husband. She's not going to get that from this guy.
You don't know that?
You don't know how long. Well, yeah, she also doesn't know how long he's got left to live.
Well, I mean, if...
Dun, dun, dun.
They were at the doctor's, they technically kind of give you an estimate. So you kind of do know. Like, yes, it's rare and all that, but there's still high chances of... I wouldn't necessarily say high, but there's still a good chance he's going to survive.
Well, she doesn't know that. And let's say there is. Let's say he's going to survive, but he's got to go through all this, like it said in the article, chemotherapy and all these other treatments. This girl's out here still running marathons. She ain't got time for chemotherapy. She's going to hitch her wagon onto this guy who's going to potentially die at the very least. Well, no, they're in England, so no medical bills. Hitching her wagon to this guy who already had cancer once.
Did he?
What are the odds? Well, this is what it was, cancer. So who's already had cancer once.
Oh, no, I thought you meant
previous to this. No, we don't know about that. Okay. But he has cancer currently, so he's had it at least once.
Right.
And you do know people go into remission.
Yep.
Why would she stay? Love and love only?
I would assume.
She might never have kids from him. What would be the right thing for him to do?
She can have kids with him.
She might not because of the chemotherapy.
True.
The radiation.
Yeah,
so let's say you're the guy. Do you keep her tethered on?
I think
knowing you cannot provide her the kind of life she wanted for herself.
Okay.
Would you keep her on?
If in this case, if they mutually split, that would be different.
Okay, fine. I'll leave that argument alone. But as the girl, this person can no longer provide you the dream life you wanted.
Stop arguing logic.
Do you give up that dream for somebody you haven't even married yet?
That's all the time we have now. I mean, I get you. Like, I hate that you're making sense because you couldn't make sense on a different story. It had to be this one right here.
You picked a story.
That's true. But when you play devil's advocate, I didn't know you were going to be that hard, all right? You're supposed to somehow still side with me, asshole.
All right.
No, I get what you're going. Like, and it's true. Like, I 100% agree with you. But like I said, I'm just trying to argue the fact that when times get tough, people bail.
And it's true.
This, I guess, I need to get my whole, like, trying to loop everybody into one category and view this as a story on its own. You know what I mean? Because basically, I'm trying to be like, tough it out, stick with them. You know?
Yeah.
I guess because that's something I would do. You know, like if this was like the person I was seeing, like if this was my girlfriend right here, you know, and this happened to her, I would stay. You know, I would stay. I would help them through it. Like, okay, like she can no longer like provide kids for me or whatever like that. I mean, oh well, like I will legit be right there.
Then why wouldn't you have married her by now?
Because what if they were like, if you're like me, you don't believe in government paperwork telling you that you're married.
Okay. Doesn't have to be through the government. It could just be through your church.
If you go to church.
Well, I'm asking about you, but
I don't go to church.
Well, fine.
I don't have a church.
And
I don't believe in government telling me what I can and cannot, who I can and cannot call my wife.
Okay, fine. Let's just say then, for argument's sake, no government involved. Your commitment to her, your promise to her that you were going to be there forever. Mm-hmm. Did you make that promise to her?
Not like
explicitly. Did you make that? Because this is the argument. Why she's not an asshole for leaving. She was never obligated to stay.
Can we call them and see if they have a promise ring or something like that?
That would change everything. That would change everything completely. If they had a promise ring, she's a bitch. A total bitch.
For my argument's sake, because you argued a really good point, can we pretend she had one so I can somewhat feel good?
If she had a ring, she's a straight up cold stone bitch.
Oh, let me see. Can you see her? Look at her fingers.
I don't know how many times I can say bitch on YouTube and not get in trouble.
We are in trouble already. But I mean, I will agree with you 80% of the way. Not 100% because I don't want you to be fully right, because then you're going to get a big ass ego. All right.
Okay, well, let's discuss about why this even came up. Because you and I were talking about the selfishness of the modern day.
Right.
The me culture that we're all in right now.
Right.
The constant selfies.
Right.
Right. The constant updates and posts about yourself so everybody can pay attention to you.
Right.
Do you think she probably suffers from something like that? And I say suffer because a normal person throughout the entire history of humanity would not have done this.
So now you want to argue my point back to me?
Yes. Because I was just playing devil's advocate.
I know you were. And you played it really good.
I'm the devil himself, yeah.
This is why Z doesn't like you.
That's fine. I like Z.
I mean, okay, state your question again.
Okay. In the current state of things, right?
Okay, I got it. Does she suffer through this selfishness and this me culture?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. She's sort of a victim of it.
Because like I said, that
she's 32 years old. I'm 35. You're almost 30.
Almost 30.
Almost 30. So you and I, even though we're not exactly the same age, we've pretty much grown up through a world where, do you remember MySpace?
I had a MySpace, yep.
You had a MySpace.
Yep.
So you were there from the inception of social media.
Do you remember Moco Space?
No.
You never seen Moco Space?
No.
That was supposed to be the new MySpace. It was it obviously didn't happen. But anyways, go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, we kind of grew up in this culture where we wanted to post our stuff, not you and I personally, but in general,
right?
Millennials, we wanted to post our stuff so that everybody can see.
Right. Yep.
Right. We had a profile, an online profile where everyone can come and visit and see what we've been up to.
have your song on there,
Have your
top 5 friends, and then always fight your friends because like why am I and not the first?
How long did you sit there picking the song because you didn't want to pick the wrong song? God forbid somebody finds out you really like ABBA, you know? So you put something else.
So I still remember my okay. Just to let you guys know, I don't remember the name. I couldn't remember the name of it, but I looked it up right now. But you guys will never know that. But now you do. My first song on MySpace was "All That Remains Not Alone." That was my song on my page.
I don't even remember my first one. I remember the last one I had.
Okay.
And the last one I had on my MySpace before it shut down or whatever was the theme song to Metalocalypse.
Oh, Death Clock?
Death Clock, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I love that show.
I know, right? But yeah, so I agree with you that today's society is indoctrinated as a me selfish culture.
Yeah.
Because it is. It's all about me. It's all about how many likes it can get. It's all about, like, if it doesn't benefit me, then it's not about me. I'm not going to go through with it. Like this story. You know, that's why I have such an issue with it, because at the end of the day, it's a cause of this culture that is more based on me instead of like the whole community, or like, doesn't need to be a community. It could just be like the closest people around you, to you, you know, because yes, times are changing. And I guess I would assume that if you get with somebody, boyfriend, girlfriend, in a way you have that commitment, you know, you argued a really good argument that there is no obligation to any of them, you know, but that's what dating is about. You date each other to hopefully go on with your life, you know, to then marry, you know. I get it when you say, you know, how come there's not a ring on her finger?
I would say that used to be the purpose.
Right, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Times are changing.
32 and 37. I mean, they should have already been married for 15 years at least.
At least, yes. Had kids, all that right there. I understand and I get you.
Because back in the day, that would have been the norm. Or let's say 10 years even.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
She would have been 22. He would have been 27.
Yeah, you know, so I agree with you and all this, but it's just that everything is so focused on me and what benefits me that you fail to, I guess, just be a good person in general.
And I agree. I 100% agree with you there, because I think that's been a consequence of this social media sort of selfish. I don't know what to call it, but you know, the how everybody's pretty much selfish now, and you know, suddenly every opinion matters, especially your own.
Right.
And so it's like
sometimes you might have the wrong opinion and go after people.
No doxing people.
Right.
You know, and so it's and yeah, I mean, that's what's it seems like what's happening now, where people don't care about their fellow man anymore. So
100%
so
true.
As far as to go where you're gonna dump your boyfriend because he has cancer.
But I think the thing that sucks more about the story is that she's like, all right, I'm out. I don't want to deal with you, but I want to run a marathon in your honor. No, the honorable thing would have been stick by his side.
Yeah, that would have been the honorable thing to do.
If he so happened to have passed away, then you grieve and you move on with your life.
Right.
You know, but the honorable thing would have been stick by him.
Yeah.
Yes, no obligation, yada, yada, all this. I get you. But I'm arguing it as in just be a decent human being, you know?
And as a decent human being, I would agree with you that, yeah, she should have stayed, at least to be by his side.
You know what I'm going to do? Next time I'm running a marathon for awareness of people giving homeless people $1. Because since I don't give everybody $1, I will run a marathon in their honor.
Collecting dollar bills so that you can hand them out to the homeless.
Yes, but they better know how to dance.
You're not going to make them dance. That would have made you a terrible person.
But this person's not. Oh, no, you never mind. You did agree. You did say she is terrible. I was
playing devil's advocate, all right? So
nothing's for free.
And here's the thing, okay? So logically speaking, she made the right choice.
Logically.
All right? I don't fault her for that, for making the selfish choice. She had no obligation. They have no kids together. They didn't even finish buying the house together. So she had no reason to stay.
Right.
Other than not being a piece of shit.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
In my opinion, this lady is a POS. That's all.
Right. Because you can only say shit so much on YouTube.
Yeah.
I agree. Like I said, I hate that you made up such a good argument. Like I can't go against you with it. I was trying, but I'm like, this asshole got me. Like you literally did.
To be fair, I've made an argument like this before. So I had a friend who was having issues with, some family members and following through with some commitments to those family members. Well, my advice to this person was, fuck them. Okay, because...
With or without a condom?
Well, they're family, so it's metaphorically fuck them.
Oh, okay.
So tell them to go fuck themselves. There you go.
But in Tennessee...
Well, because here was the thing.
Or Alabama.
We love you, Tennessee and Alabama. Well, no. So what ends up happening was they had to babysit for their sibling.
Right.
And it was causing them a lot of issues with their own work.
Right.
And scheduling conflicts and their own free time. So they could, it was having a serious effect on their social life.
Right.
And they were concerned about being pieces of shit for not helping out their sibling.
Right.
Well, it got to the point where she was being sort of rude to her sister because of this.
Right.
So my advice to her was just stop it. Those aren't your kids.
Right.
Right? She made the choices to have them.
Right.
To have them with this person.
Right.
That maybe wasn't ideal. She decided to have as many as she did. So she made all the choices, but somehow the responsibility has fallen on you.
Right.
And I said, the right thing to do would have been to babysit. It would have been to help your sister. But at what cost?
Right.
Now she's suffering. And she had never made the decision to have these kids.
Mm-hmm.
So my advice to her was, F 'em. You might feel bad about it at first, sure. But you know what? You feel bad already.
Right.
Because you're missing out on so much of your own social life. She was young. So I was like, they're not your kids. They're not your responsibility.
Right.
So but maybe as a tribe, as a community, it would have been the right thing to do to stick around and hang out.
Right.
And watch those kids whenever she could. But like I said, what cost? F them. Be selfish.
I mean, that's true. There is, and I'm not saying all forms of selfishness is bad selfishness. I'm just saying, like, when there comes to an effect of people around you, then it kind of is selfish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was just making it a miserable situation for everyone involved.
I mean, one more argument on this part of this story, but because I keep on saying it, it's just, I would have understand if she would have left because it was causing her mental health issues. I'm fine with that. The thing that got me was she's running a marathon in his honor. That's the icing on the cake for me right there. Like, because I don't fault her for having like mental health issues because mental health is a real thing. I get it. I 100% get it. I guess just the thing that I wanted to fight this about so much was the fact that she ran a marathon in his honor when the honorable thing would have been stick by his side.
I think my problem with her running the marathon is that she's clear, in my opinion, it's clear to me that she's not doing it for him, for his honor. She's doing it because she knows she did a terrible thing.
Right. She's trying to.
She's making amends. She's trying to make herself feel better.
She's trying to be like, I am a piece of shit,
it's like,
but at least I'm doing something about it.
Yeah, it's like those people that do a horrible crime, go to jail, and then turn to Jesus.
Exactly.
You did something terrible, and now you feel bad about it, so you want to make up for it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
At the end of the day, I mean, nothing wrong with it, but I know why you're doing it.
Right, exactly.
It's not because it's not because you want to help, it's because you feel bad.
So, on this Mario edition of the podcast, because did you know this is the first time you've ever talked so much on a podcast?
You asked me to play devil's advocate, I play devil's advocate.
You asked yourself to play devil's advocate.
I should play devil's advocate.
Exactly. Comment down below. Do you agree with Mario because he actually argued really good facts that I can't argue against because I wasn't prepared for the ass handing he gave me.
That was
So let's just go ahead and say it. Like, Mario was right on this one right here. And this person is still a piece of shit because she ran a marathon for him. Do you guys agree with Mario? Do you agree with me? Do you agree with both of us? And because, as human beings, we can come together and agree on one single issue, on both issues.
never out.
Let us know on the comments down below. Guys, thank you for watching this episode of the Slightly Off Topic podcast. Peace.